FM, how you guys doing? How you guys doing? I trust that you guys are ready for tonight's call. But before we get started, let's see where people are tuning in from. Tonight, I'm going to share something that I haven't ever shared on any of these calls before. So I need you to listen closely and take a note to detail. So also bear in mind that you need to listen closely because we're doing giveaways at the end. So we're going to give away 1,000 NMS tokens to anyone on this call, and to those who have taken action, we're going to give away an iPad. So I have my iPad ready here. So excited to be giving away another one after a couple of weeks. So let's see where people are tuning in from. Lady Smith is here, Libya is here, Limpopo is here, Joburg is here, Bloom is here, is London, Jacobsdal. I went past Jacobsdal not too long ago. Potensi is here as well. Awesome stuff. PE, Mtata, Pretoria, Johannesburg. Everyone is well represented. Awesome stuff. So we have went over 50 people live here. So we are going. I see PE, Blackheath, Joburg, Cape Town, Johannesburg. I just got back from Cape Town. Had a fantastic holiday in Cape Town. So thank you, guys. Swaziland is here. PE, Cabera. Yes, we are well represented. What I haven't seen this before. Ellen. Okay, it's in Swaziland, Rustenburg, Cape Town. Fantastic. Okay, guys, I'm totally excited to actually be being here tonight, and I trust that you are also going to be here. So obviously, with 100 people being here, when I always look at it this way, I need to make it worth your time, because at the end of the day, if I don't make it worth your time, then I've just wasted 100 hours. So tonight, therefore, I'm sharing something that I haven't shared before, and I will be sharing my screen because being in this industry for so long, I understand that people learn best by when I actually share my screen and they see. So let's get started. Fantastic. It seems like load shedding is something of the past, because I see so many people are actually flowing in tonight. So if you guys are ready, please put a 1 in the comments, put a 1 or a fire so we can get started. Put a 1 or a fire in the comments so we can get started. Fantastic. Everyone can hear me clearly because you guys are responding well. So let us get started tonight. So fam, we are recording this, but remember, you need to be here live to actually qualify for the giveaways. So allow me to first share my screen. Share. Okay. Okay. Awesome stuff. Let's see. Hi, and welcome. Lucian Godfrey here, founder and author of NFT Millionaire Secret. About 7 years ago, I stumbled upon Bitcoin, and at the time, Bitcoin was only 450 US dollars. So back then, I was working as a courier driver during the course of the week and an Uber driver on weekends. Many days I would work for 16 hours per day, and because I'm married and I've got kids, this wasn't sustainable. Fortunately, I was able to walk away from my full-time job within a matter of 2 years. And since then, I've been able to help many others to also do the same. Since 2017, the industry has grown tremendously. However, many has missed Bitcoin in its early days. And I'm here today to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Awesome stuff. So for those of you who are not familiar with myself, I've just shared a 59-second video where I share where we come from and what the plan is, obviously, with NMS. So just to introduce you guys to the team. So I have my beautiful wife there, Shanique Godfrey. So she's also the co-founder at NMS. Then we have the amazing Terry Lynn, who's head of support. I'm sure that all of you have made contact with her already. If you are new here, then I can promise you that she is basically how can I say, she's the one with the 8 hands when it comes to NMS. So she's basically running the team. Then we have Ilana Phyllis, who's part of the team, who's responsible for admin. And then we also have Shaniqua Magerman, who's responsible for everything media, marketing, and IT. So that is the team at NMS. And yeah, then obviously, like I've shared before, then we also have myself, Lucian Godfrey. I'm the founder, author, and director of NMS. So where does NMS come from? In the video that I've just shared with you guys before, I prefer sharing short videos because at the end of the day, that gives me the luxury of actually being able to revise and obviously suppress it, so I don't have to explain something for like 20 minutes. So like I've shared on there is that just to give you a bit of a history of myself. So I was working as, first when I matriculated, I was working as a construction worker for over a decade. And then from there, I obviously transitioned into, I got my license and I became a courier driver as well as an Uber driver. So I would work as a courier driver during weekdays for 16 hours and then on weekends as a Uber driver. But obviously things didn't work out for me too well because I was working so many hours. I was looking for something, and I don't know where you are finding yourself tonight, but what I'm going to share with you tonight is exactly what that I have used to get myself out of a dead-end job to where I am today. So maybe you are not finding yourself in a dead-end job. Maybe you love what you do, but you just want to make some extra income because, like I've shared on the video, that I mean, just something like oil that used to cost like 30 rand for 2 liter. Currently, it's like 100 rand. So if you are looking to escape inflation, then this is definitely the tool. However, if you are looking to get rich quickly, we are at the beginning of this call. If you are looking to get rich quickly, it would be best that you actually do not participate on this call because I'm going to waste an hour of your time because this is not something that will make you rich quickly. As you can see on my book, it explains and it says how I built a 7-figure portfolio selling NFTs in my spare time using my phone. So you can use any device, doesn't matter, just a phone, just the device that you are watching from, that is good enough. Doesn't have to be an expensive thing, but it's important that you have the right mindset, which is to build over time. So when I got started, I was just an Uber driver. I didn't have a lot of money, and I got started with just 1,000 rand. So irrespective of where you are finding yourself, you can get started right where you are. And what we teach is 3 of the main misconceptions that I actually tackle is that the lies that people believe is that people believe that they need to give their money to strangers in order to actually make some extra money. You don't need to do that. We teach you how to work with your own money, and that is what we will do in the school. Number 2, people think that they will need to sit in front of a computer or a laptop on a daily basis or a whole day. That is also not the truth. I actually have a lot of clients that are finding themselves working a 9 to 5. Others are basically traveling the world, and they actually check their portfolios every quarter or every 6 months or every year, once a year. So obviously those who are trading check it more frequently. And then the last one that I obviously said that you can get started right where you are. I got started with 1,000. So if you guys are ready for us to get started, please put a 2 in the comments. Put a 2 in the comments. We are climbing up the numbers. We are soon going to be at 300. And yeah, that will basically be the mix. So keep onto your seat. And yeah, let's go. Let's go. So guys, what is the reason for NMS? So the mission and the vision for NMS is as follows. So we found NMS or NFT Millennium Seeker in July of 2021 by myself and my beautiful wife, Shanique. And the main goal that we wish to actually see realized or the vision that we actually have is to see parents or to see people learning a high income skill where they don't have to sacrifice their time and their health, etc. So we teach a skill, a high income skill that should put you in a position, if you implement this, to be able to generate a certain amount of income that will obviously put you in a position to have financial, time, and location freedom. Guys, I was just on holiday for the last week, and my wife, when we came back, she said, now we need to have a holiday from this holiday because there were so many activities, etc., to do. And yeah, but at the end of the day, the point that I'm trying to make is, whilst on holiday, we were able to generate more income than we actually spent by being on a holiday in Cape Town for a week. So if you would like to learn how to actually do that, I need you to put a 4 in the comments. I think I skipped 3, but put a 4 in the comments if you would like to learn such a skill that will put you in a position to obviously have financial, time, and location freedom. So I see that the 4s are flowing in, 4s are flowing in. So let's go. Now, friends, I have a 2-minute testimonial here. I know that a lot of you guys have seen it, but so many of you do not even know who I am or what we are about. So maybe you did not go to our website. So I have a 2-minute video where I did this training at a seminar in Port Elizabeth, and one of our clients was there. This specific client was able to generate over $1 million. They were actually able to generate 2 million. So within their first year, and they were there to actually tell the story. So at this point of time, I'm just going to play this video so he can share exactly what he did. I need you guys to take your notebooks and write down, because he shares valuable nuggets, things that you can implement from here onwards. My mentor always teaches me, do not give an hide the information in a whole lot of fluff. Just give it like it is so people can take action. So this is exactly what he has also done. Surprise. I didn't know that Carlo is going to be here. So since he is here, he is the first person to have made over $1 million through our program. So can we give him 2 minutes just to share his testimony? Can we do that? Guys, so I'm Carlo Buchman. Actually, I'm the guy, but I'm trying to English. So I've joined the NMS 2 years ago. Yes. Yeah, 2 years ago. And in that short time, I've generated 1.8 million alone in NFTs, literally. And the thing is just getting in the right time of the market. And that is exactly what has happened. And that's what I actually want to go tell you right now. It is the right time in the market. I mean, I've been in crypto for a little bit more than 5 years. I've also done crypto. I've got a lot of things that I've also run on the side. But then I started wanting to learn more about NFTs. And well, yeah, Sean is definitely the person to do that. So I worked in America for 4 years. And I decided to then join Sean on that. And guys, I made more money in his program than I made in America. And I don't know if you guys know what the guys earn in America. I'm talking about like 90, 100K a month. So that's what I was able to generate over there. So that's what I'm saying. It's definitely the right time to get into the market. It's definitely the right time to learn about the market, because there's major adoption happening out there regarding NFTs, regarding the cryptocurrency world. Like, I don't know if you guys probably have seen, you can already buy crypto in Pick n Pay. You can use your crypto to buy and Pick n Pay. That's all going to start major adopting, and we are early. I'm really telling you, we are really early in the market. And if you really want to start learning, well, this is your guy. So please, it's definitely possible with this program. 1.8 million, like I said, in one market, one cycle, and the next cycle is far away, let me tell you. So yeah, I hope this is inspiring, and definitely, I thank you, John. It was really a good. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. So can you guys see me right now? Can you guys see me? Am I pinned? Are you able to see me? So if you can't see me, put the 5 in the comment. Put the 5 in the comment if you are able to see me. Okay, fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. You guys can see me. So guys, I know that some of you have is here for the second, the third, or the fourth time. But what I do is I share something valuable or unique that I haven't shared before. But I also want to find out who of you are here for your first time, for your very first time. Who of you are here for your very first time? So I can see who it actually is, and I will share exactly the strategy that myself and our clients are using to get these results. So put the 6 in the comment if you are here for your very first time. For your very first time, guys, let's William is here, Jesse is here, Eldridge is here. Let's see who's here on this training for the very first time. Luyanda is here, Zumi is here, Ellen is here, Marvin, Mazwi, awesome. Emmanuel is also here for his first time. So someone said Zoom keeps kicking them out, but it may be that your signal is coming and going. Yeah, so hopefully that you stay in. Jabu's here, Kingmaker is here. Okay, fantastic. Guys, now I need you to listen closely. If you forget everything that we share on this call here today, I don't want you to forget the following. The following word. I'm going to share one word, and it's infrastructure. Yes, I'm going to break it down, but I'm also, and I'm going to elaborate on what I mean with that. But the main strategy that we have been using is to look for entrepreneurs who's looking to build infrastructure for a certain narrative that will that is, for instance, gaining popularity, or a certain industry that is coming into play. Like for instance, with NFTs, when NFTs came into play, I looked for something that is building infrastructure for different projects. Now, why do I do this? Guys, think of it. Let's say we have soft drinks that is actually taking the world by storm now, and people for the first time they are actually into soft drinks. So the reason why Coca-Cola is as successful as they are is because they actually made sure that they partner with different drinks, etc. And at the end of the day, what they were able to achieve is to basically set the standard. So even if Fanta, if you go to a Fanta bottle and you'll see on there Coca-Cola, there are so many soft drinks that we are actually consuming that is actually made by Coca-Cola, or Coca-Cola owns. So at the end of the day, even if one brand, if people don't actually take on to that, it doesn't mean that the company will fail, because that is only one of its soft drinks, but there are many others. Now, when it comes to NFTs, for instance, when we got into certain NFT projects, and I'm going to share with you the reason why those, or the one that I'm going to share with you, did more than 20x, is because we chose one early, one that is actually building the infrastructure for the entire industry. So even if one project fails, the ones that is building the infrastructure is generally the ones that actually make to, like the articles that you see, some are selling for millions, some selling for hundreds of thousands, and many of them are selling for millions. It's because they're building infrastructure. Same when it comes to certain tokens or projects. Now I'm going to share something with you that is been staring you in the face, but you may not have noticed it. So let me quickly share my screen. So this is one of the NFT projects that we have been investing into. Now we've been buying them for like 30 ADA, or for some between 30 and 40, etc. We've bought for higher also. I've seen this at 30 ADA. I've seen it at 1.5 ADA, but from 30 to 699. Let's see. So I'm gonna be very practical on this call. So online calculator, because I'm a maths guy, so I can immediately make the math, but sometimes people actually say, but how did you get there? So obviously 700, so 699, let's round it off to 700. 700 divided by 30 will show you how much excess that actually is. So is the meeting? Yes, it is being recorded. So I'm going to say 700 divided by 30. So what does that mean? Whatever we spent on this, it was times 23. Now let's get an average amount that people are normally comfortable with investing. Let's say 5,000. So let's say I bought 5,000 rands worth of these NFTs times 23. Then it went to 115,000. But I found myself, remember, I had a bit of success. I had Uber cars and I sold my Ubers because I did not want to actually own an Uber business anymore, because it wasn't making money for me. The drivers had so many stores, etc. So let's say I took 100K. I took more than this, obviously, but 100K and invested into this specific project. 100K times 23 takes it to 2.3 million. That is just by knowing the strategy that we will be teaching you guys in detail here. So now I don't have any drivers who come to me and say the day wasn't so good. I have no cars that is depreciating in value, or tires I need to fix, or drivers bumping my cars and just leaving it there. So let me break this down. So if you guys are ready to get the strategy step by step, please put a 7 in the comments. Put a 7 in the comments so we can actually run with that. People are putting sevens. Whilst you guys are putting sevens, let us look at something that has been staring you in the face. If you are new, you may not know this website, but if you've been here for a while, you definitely know this website, CoinGecko. Some of you use CoinGecko.com, others use CoinMarketCap.com. Now, these are the top 10 projects in the crypto industry. Now, guys, remember what word I said you must remember: infrastructure. When Bitcoin started in the 3rd of June, the 3rd of January in 2009, Satoshi made a promise, excuse me, that they are going to give us a method to be able to transact anonymously across borders. So I will be able to transact with anyone, anywhere in the world, almost instantaneously. So they built the infrastructure for that. Ethereum came and they built the infrastructure so we can have smart contracts. If you don't know what smart contracts is, that is not important at this point of time. I'm not trying to offload like 7 years, what I've learned over the last 7 years in one session, but just understand that they brought us smart contracts. Tether is basically equal to US dollar. So yeah, we had to have something stable. BNB, they obviously brought us what Ethereum brought us, but much cheaper. So fees on Ethereum would, for instance, be like 100 rand just to make a transaction. On BNB, it would, for instance, be a few cents. And then obviously BNB also has their benefits. XRP came and they said, you know what, we're going to work with big banks, and we built the infrastructure so they can transact with one another borderlessly. So remember what comes once again up? They built the infrastructure. USD coin, it's also equal to the US dollar. So yeah, the same. So Lido stake. So they are basically also an ETH project. Cardano, they also built what I believe is the most robust infrastructure, and they, at this point of time, what they are, so they brought us a roadmap what they are going to build. So I'm trying to keep us as short as possible, so I'm not going to share too much of one specific project, but just know that the infrastructure that they are building for this space, there's a great need for it, and at the end of the day, they are actually about to be launching that infrastructure. So the next bull run will be super amazing. Dogecoin, obviously, it's a speculation, and people believe that Elon Musk is going to make this actually the currency of X. So they believe that that is the infrastructure for that. Likewise with Solana, I know that I said top 10, but Tron, the same thing. They are building the infrastructure. Now, that is the reason why we got the results that we got. You see the testimonials on our website, and that is exactly what we have been building in on. And I was fortunate to actually get us an even better deal. How would you feel if you could get Bitcoin or Ethereum or any of those tokens that you've just seen before the community learned about it? How would you feel if you actually got access to any of these before anyone ever knew about it? So now let me share something. When the market is red, someone says that the market is red. When Edgar's, I don't see Edgar's anymore here, or I don't shop at Edgar's, but Edgar's used to have a red hanger sale. When the market is red, this is the time to actually be stocking up. Now, let me share with you something interesting quickly. Let me share the screen and show you some of these projects in the top 10. They are down more than 90%. Would you want to pay $100 for a dress that you like, or would you like to pay $10 for that specific dress that you like? The same dress, would you like to buy it at $100 or at $10? In the comments, what would you like to pay for it? Would you like to pay $100 just to be able to say, you know what, this dress cost $100, or would you like to pay $10? Obviously, you would like to pay $10, but remember, most people, they want to actually get into this industry when it's the bull run, when everything is high. So red days are the days when we go shopping. Likewise, you ladies that are on the call, when do you go in shopping? You go when the things aren't special, when there's a sale. So at this point of time, there's a sale, but obviously, as you can see there are like 10,000 different coins. How do you know which ones to buy? And that is exactly where we come in. So I was fortunate, stop share. I was fortunate to take 25,000 US dollars, around about 500,000 rands, and use that to get into a certain ecosystem. And by getting into this ecosystem, it gave me access to projects like this before it gets to the community, before it gets to the public. So whenever it gets to the public pays like $100, and we actually paid like $1. So at the end of the day, you can make the maths, and that is why you actually see that kind of results. So allow me to share my screen, and remember to listen closely, because we are giving away 1,000 NMS tokens, and we're giving away this iPad here. So let's go. Let's go. I know that mostly people want to know more about how do I make the money, but let me accommodate those who are here early, or who are here for the first time, so I can actually first make them understand why they need to get into this industry, and why we are getting into the projects that are actually building the infrastructure for this industry. So I see that Lolly Mkrele has raised her hands. Is possible that you can put your question or your statement in the chat, and then we will address it. So my wife will give me a signal as soon as you have done that. I know that people are not able to unmute themselves now because we just want to first educate, first teach you the skill, and then we will open up the we will obviously allow you guys to unmute yourself. So the number one goal of tonight is to teach you a skill whereby you can learn how to generate between 1,000 and 10,000 US dollars. The agenda for tonight's call is I'm going to speak about mindset. I'm going to speak about what NFTs are. I'm going to speak about what private sales are and how you can actually use them or how they work. Then I'm going to teach you the main strategy that we've been using, and it will be relevant today. It was relevant 2 years ago. It was relevant 7 years ago when I got started, and it will still be relevant in the next up until, I believe, up until Christ comes. If you implement this, doesn't matter which industry you go to, I believe that you will be successful in business. Then we're going to obviously do the giveaways. So for us to get started, guys, let's give a fire in the chat. Those of you who don't know how to put a fire, just put a 9 in the comments so we can get started with tonight's agenda. Awesome stuff. So 9s are flowing in. So friends, remember I told you that I actually was able to get into a certain ecosystem where I needed 500,000 rands to get into this group. Now, guys, I'm going to share with you the benefit of this group. Currently, obviously, afterwards, I bought more into it because I mean, it's just, in fact, the 500K that I actually got used to get in, it's not money out of pocket. I had to buy certain, let's call it stock for now, or shares. So by having that amount of shares, I got access to a certain group. Now we are only 106 people in this group. I'm the only person on the African soil that is in this group. But what is being shared in this group is what has helped us as a company to be able to get the type of results that we got. And I'm going to share with you tonight what type of mindset they have. When I got into this group, I learned that, you know what, these guys, they all think the same. And that's why I conclude that success is a mindset. It is how you think. I also noticed that they take action, and they take action fast. But when it comes to taking profits, they are very patient. They know that when we put our seed in the ground, we need to wait for it to be watered before it will bring the fruit that we obviously want. And they are also always accommodative when it comes to modifying the time frames. Yes, many of you have seen the testimonials where we make money and we make it quickly, but we also sometimes get into some of these projects and we wait a whole lot of months, sometimes a year. And at the end of the day, you need to be willing to modify timeframes, and then you need to also be realistic in your expectations. I'm going to share testimonials with you guys, but if you watched Carlos' testimonial, if you were here early, and then you listen to it, and yes, he's been able to make 2 million in his first year, but he had 100,000 to start off with. Now, guys, I did not have 100,000 to start off with, so I did not make 2 million in my first year 7 years ago. However, I started with 1,000, but I was able to build my portfolio over time. So now being able to make that kind of money, it's way easier because the portfolio is obviously bigger. If that makes sense, I want you to put a 10 in the comments. I wanted to put a 10 in the comments so we can proceed. I'm watching the chat. Okay, 10s are flowing in. Fantastic. Let's go. So all of us on this call, we can be divided into 4 quadrants, says Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. He says that we are either employees, or we are self-employed, or we're a big business owner, or we are investors. Now, what is interesting is that those who are finding themselves as employees and self-employed, those make out of close to like over 95% of the population. So over 95% of the population that has an income are finding themselves in one of these quadrants, either employee or self-employed. Now I found myself in this quadrant and I realized that, you know what? In this quadrant, I'm selling my time and my skill. So my time and my skill, my time, the hours that I work times the kind of skill that I have equals dollars. If you read my book, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, or you haven't read my book, I need you to go and even get the free copy of my book where I explain it. So me and you, we can work at the same company. If I'm the HR manager and you are the janitor, we can work the same amount of hours, but because my skill is more rare, I will be earning more. So someone will be earning 5,000 rand a month, the next will be earning 20,000 rand a month, working for the same company for the same amount of time. Now, let's say you were a janitor and now you become, or you go to school and you then actually have a degree and you become the HR manager. But still, you have something that is keeping you back because the amount of time that you are working, that will result to how much you will be earning. And I soon realized that, you know what? I need to get out of this quadrant. Those of you who read my book knows that, you know what? I started off being self-employed, but I also realized, you know what? Even though I was self-employed, I had my own business, but I was still basically limited because when I didn't sell my voice rolls or my fruit or whatever I was selling, then I wasn't making money. And I needed to get to the other two quadrants, either the business owners or the investors. And this is exactly what we teach at NMS. So if it is not your goal to get to the B quadrant or the I quadrant, which is a business, a big business owner or an investor, if it is not your goal to get there, then once again, I will share with you is you are actually wasting your time because that is exactly what we teach. So I don't want to waste more of your time. But if it is that you want to actually get to the B or the I, maybe some of you are there, but you just want to go that, and then you are obviously at the right place. So that is in terms of population. Over 95% of people are finding themselves there. But guess what? Mr. Robert Kiyosaki says that, and research proves that even though the business owners and the investors make out of less than 5% of the population, they own like 95% of the world's wealth. Most of the money is actually being owned by this small group of people. So this proved to me that, you know what, something is actually unfair. And when I got into that ecosystem or that group that I shared with you guys earlier, I learned why the rich stay rich and why the rich is just getting richer and the poor is just getting poorer. Guys, let's say you have a job and you are earning, it doesn't matter how much you're earning. If you are getting a raise of like 10% on a yearly basis, and inflation is like 30% on a yearly basis, even though you get a raise of 10%, you are still getting poorer. And that is what I realized because I concluded when I was earning like 1,000 rand a week, I said, you know what, if I can just earn 1,500 a week, then I got to 1,500 a week. Then I said, you know what, if I can only get to 2,000 a week. So when I got to 2,000 a week, then obviously you go over to monthly. And then I said, if I can only earn 10,000 rand a month, then if I can only earn 15,000 rand a month. But by the time when you get there, the money has been devalued so much that you can actually buy less things. So I knew that, you know what, I needed to make an income or to find a way to make income much faster. So Mr. Warren Buffett, one of the richest guys in the world, says that if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. One of my lights just, the battery is out, yes. But let's proceed. Now, guys, this is just the US dollar or the buying power of the US dollar. The US dollar's lost like close to 99% of its value since its exception. So let's say in the beginning, when the US dollar was the first year of the US dollar, you could buy 100 loaves of bread. So currently, you can only buy one loaf of bread with it. So that is how much the value has of the value it has been lost. Now, how much more the South African rand? Currently, Zimbabwe, their money is worth nothing. Venezuela, their money is worth nothing. It used back in the day. What happened to Germany? They also their money was worth nothing. If you go to Argentina, you would find out inflation is at like 300%. So if you don't spend your money now, by next year, you'll only be able to buy a third of that. So that proved to me that we needed to find a different asset where we can store our efforts. Now let me break this down, because I only have them. It takes sometimes people speaking languages that I don't understand. It's plain English, but I mean it's just above my head. So what do I mean when I say we need to find an asset to store our efforts? Remember what I said, how do we earn dollars? By multiplying our time by our skill. So that is our effort. So that equals dollars, that equals money. But now if money is constantly losing their value, so I'm selling my time and my skill, but the money keeps losing value. So the asset is obviously the money. So that is basically just what money is. It is basically the reward for your efforts. But now, that proved to me the fact that money or currencies keeps on losing value. We needed to find something that appreciates in value. So how do your money actually grow in value? And I'm going to share with you tonight why these assets that we are actually acquiring, they are actually deflationary instead of having inflation eat away its power. So let me share my screen once again so we can proceed. So what are NFTs? NFT stands for non-fungible token. Non-fungible token is basically means it's not interchangeable. So sorry. So if we have, for instance, two vehicles, even though it's the same make, the same color, the same year that it was actually made, sorry, we cannot just go and swap it, because each of them has a unique number plate. Shanik, can you just give me some water, please? So each has a unique like serial number. So cars obviously have a VIN number. So if you go down the road and you go too fast, you will be snapped. The camera will snap you, and they will send the fine directly to your house. Why? Because your registration represents your ownership. So it's a unique ownership. So what is the opposite to non-fungible tokens? It is fungible, something that is interchangeable. If I have a 10 rand and you have 2 5 rands, we can swap that around and it will have the same value. So that is fungible, but non-fungible is each one is unique. Now, what's nice is the fact that it's limited. And then it is also more programmable, so which I will be sharing some more details on that as we proceed. Excuse me. So here I'm going to share with you like 5 utilities that can actually be used in the medical field. So I'm going to run through them. I'm just going to put my camera off here. So can actually, fantastic. So NFT, New York City, they actually recently hosted, it was basically hosted by Friends of Medicine. So then a lot of people actually, even myself, realize that, you know what, NFTs are not only being used for digital art or for collectibles or for finance, but also in medicine. Excuse me. And I was quite surprised. And we're going to look at a few of it. Now, guys, when it comes to medical records and actually having patent data, this is quite a big one, because at the end of the day, let's say you studied 7 years and you specialize on a certain topic and you release a paper, but someone else comes and steals your paper, or say, you know what, they publish it as if it's theirs. Remember, when you publish it as an NFT, it is unique and everyone can see that you are actually the person who owns it, and you are actually the person who, because the blockchain records everything, time, its origin, etc. So it cannot be changed. That therefore, if you send some cryptocurrency to someone, you can't go to the bank and say, you know what, I want that's a wrong transaction, I want you to reverse the money. There's no reversals. Once you've made that transaction, the blockchain records it and you can't take it away. So medical research and intellectual property, which I've obviously just explained. Medical education and training. So how would you feel if you go to the doctor? I was the dentist today, so I'm hoping that my smile is a bit better. So I went and basically had it cleaned. But how would you feel? Because the dentist today, she actually blew my mind, because she gave me so much education based on how I can actually keep my smile bright and white. And you can see that, you know what, she's not here. A lot of people believe that, you know what, doctors, they're just in it for the money. They won't give you a cure. They will just basically give you tablets so they can keep you as a client. But most doctors are actually great. And they really do care. How would you feel if your doctor said, you know what, because you are my patient, I'm going to give you access to some education to actually, let's say you have hypertension, to make sure that you actually control this or you cure this. But when you watch, the more they give you access to a certain website, their website, and there's education. And the more you watch it, they can see, and that actually results to, they can see that, you know what, you watch 95% of the course, which means the more you learn about your illness, you will be able to manage it better, and you'll be able to visit them less. And the more you watch that, they actually give you a bigger discount next time when you come. So obviously you get compensated for doing that. Think of Discover giving vitality points, etc. So this can actually be transparent, and this can actually go on a global data base, which is obviously the blockchain. So there are many industries, many different industries that are using the technologies around NFTs. Now, I don't want you to lose you. Remember, coins or tokens, they are built on the blockchain. NFTs also run on the blockchain, so it's under the same umbrella. So personalized medicine and genomics. Guys, I don't know about you guys, but we have so many fake or privacy going on. So you would find that you go to a shop across the road and you buy a grandpa, and it's like yellowish. When you go to ShopRite or Spar, and then it's like white. So now when it comes to the technology that we have, you can actually pick up a product and you'll be able to see clearly where this product was actually, where the raw materials come from. So from the plant to the factory, to the manufacturer, to the shops, to you. So you'll be able to track all of that. And isn't that great? That is in terms of a supply chain. So, but also, let's say, now, currently, many institutions, they're actually keeping your data, because they know data is the new currency. That is why Facebook, they actually ask us for data, and they give us that platform for free, because we give them our data. Now, let's say you normally go to a live hospital. Yes, definitely can be used in all of the industries. Sorry, I was just reading something. Someone said this can actually help the cigarette industry as well as the clothing industry. If you buy a certain techie, like New Balance has partnered with Cardano, and for every New Balance you buy, you get a certain NFT, which shows that, you know what, this is the height of New Balance, and or this is the original, and you basically have an NFT for that to prove that it's original, and it's not the one that you get maybe in Cape Town, in Durban out for like 300 rand. So let's proceed. Let's say your doctor is at Mercantile. Your file is this thick. They know your conditions, what you're allergic to, all of those kind of things. But let's say you, hopefully this doesn't happen. You are in an accident and you are close to Gehrinicus and they take you to Gehrinicus Hospital. Now, Gehrinicus, they know that you are a client at Mercantile, so they call them and ask, you know what, so-and-so person, this person is here. Can you give us their medical records so we can actually treat them? What do you think? What will Mercantile do? Mercantile will say, no, let's send a helicopter and bring them here because it's our client and we already know their condition. So they keep your data because they know that you need to come back to them. What if you were in a different country, or let's say you were unconscious and you can't explain to them what your condition is? They would treat you. They could actually give you something that you are allergic to. So, but what if there was a database whereby a medical records is basically, it's unique. It's an NFT, which means that a practitioner with their practice number, they can log in on that and they can actually go and view and see what your conditions are, your entire medical history. Don't we think that the world will be a better place? So if you understand just this one, I don't want you to put NFTs in a box. So if you can if this is clear to you, I want you to put 11 in the comments. Or if you see how this can actually prove legitimacy of projects or products out there. So now you can see why this technology is changing business forever. It doesn't matter what it is, because I remember, like, what does NFTs have to do with books? Let me make an example. We had Gary Vee. Gary Vee comes and is a successful business man, and at the same time, he also, let me just put on my camera again. And at the same time, he's also an author. So Gary Vee writes his book, and he says, you know what, if you buy 12 of these books, I'm going to give you an NFT. It's called VeeFriends. Everybody went crazy. Some bought 24 books, some bought 48 books, so we can get 4 of VeeFriend NFTs. Now, when you have this NFT, you get access to certain groups that Gary Vee is in. Now, generally, people would pay thousands of dollars to get into there or to get this value. But now when you have this NFT, you get in for free. Now, currently, VeeFriends have been selling and still selling for tens of thousands of dollars. Imagine paying $50,000 for an NFT, which you actually got through buying 12 of his books. So I want you to understand that you cannot put NFTs or cryptocurrencies in a box, because it's changing business forever, because these projects are constantly building infrastructure. Those who are building the infrastructure are generally the ones who make it. So let's proceed. So we need to actually start summarizing now. So let's make a last example. Elon Musk comes and he says, you know what, I'm going to build Tesla. But if he's only got an idea, so he finds out, you know what, there are people who actually started this, same as what he's doing with Twitter now. He's turning Twitter into X. So he took Tesla, basically from others who founded it, and he obviously bought him out. But then he had an idea he's going to bring us a EV car or car, hybrid car that drives without petrol. Obviously, at that point of time, people did not believe it is possible because they haven't seen that happening. But at the time, his shares was not worth much. Remember, this is 2003. He just sold PayPal. He had a lot of money. He's building this car. But what happened when he launched the first car? What happened? His shares shot up in value. And now some of the shares landed in other people's hands because he had to sell some of these shares in order to get more money to build this car. So we call it a roadmap. A roadmap is an entrepreneur comes and he says, you know what, I'm going to deliver this. And he tells us the steps or the months or the years that it's going to take him. So that is the roadmap. So then what happened to Tesla shares? It went up a bit in value. But what happened when he brought us the Roadster? It went up even more in value. And then they actually brought us the semi-truck that drives 500 miles in one charge. That is why Elon Musk is the richest guy in the world, because his shares is worth billions of US dollars. In fact, his company is worth over $1 trillion US dollars. But obviously, the other shareholders, they also hold many of the shares because he had to sell it when it was still cheap, when he didn't realize his dream as yet. Now, Elon understood something to implement the TRD method, and I'm promising you, if you implement this method in your business, then there's nothing stopping you from actually becoming the number one in your industry. So I'm going to share what the TRD method stands for and share some ways on how you can implement it. If you have been on our website, you have seen the testimonial of Olutle where she was able to make 10,000 US dollars in the first 2 months. So if you've watched the YouTube interview where I interview her, she shares how she made 100K in the first month. So that was in January, but the following month she made another 100,000 rands. Now 100,000 rand sounds like a lot of money, but it's just $5,000. So in 2 months she was able to make 10K, $10,000, which is 200K. And that was without selling our products. She just basically invested in some of the projects that we told her about. She invested into a private sale, which I'm going to explain to you how you can also get into a private sale. And yeah, within 2 months, she was able to make that kind of money. Only afterwards, she started sharing the news with others. And then she made a bit of commissions as well. So at the end of the day, but the first 2 months was basically just because of the product. So obviously when you share and you earn a commission, and that is where she was able to generate over 50,000 and like, so, but I'm going to share more about that. But Colin, good friend of mine, who said, you know what, Lucian, I know that you know trading, and there's just something that I need you to tell me. Just come show me what it is or how to do this. And obviously, because in my line of business, I said it's going to be $600 for the call out fee, and he said no. And then I said, oh, okay, then you can just buy my program. Then you don't have to pay for a call out fee. So then he also said no. So then I said, okay, then I can't come to you. Then 2 weeks goes by. He calls me up. He says, you know what, Lucian, I'm struggling here. Just come and show me this. Many of you have seen the testimonial. He comes, I meet up with him, go to basically he owns one of the businesses in our community. I go to him, I show him basically how to actually do what he wanted to, but then I just shared with him what NMS is doing, like I'm sharing with you here. And I walked out there with 42,000 rand. So I understand when people actually make a decision, you know what, I'm not buying. But once people understand, that is why I'm traveling all over the country to teach people with no promise that people are going to buy. In fact, even if no one buys what I'm going to share with you tonight, as long as I did my share to actually educate you what is currently going on in the world and how business is changing and why currency is constantly losing value. If you don't know why the rand is losing so much value, go and research fractional reserve banking. If I had the time, I would explain it, but I have many videos on that as well on YouTube, and others also have it. So what happened after 2 years when Colin was actually got into our program? Not 2 years, 2 weeks before 1 month went by, he was able to generate what we have seen on the screen. Colin was able to generate $20,000. Now, what is $20,000 in rands? 400,000 rand. So this is also one of our members who was able to generate 234,000 rand in 1 day. However, I remember what I said, you need to be realistic. Don't want to start off with 10,000 rand and expect to make this kind of money. This person, yes, they started small, but over time they grow their portfolio big. So let's say your portfolio is 2 million and the market goes up by 12%. That is already 240,000 rand that you've made in that 1 day, just by the market going up 12%. So that is basically what happened here. So let's proceed. Let's cover the misconceptions. Many people believe that they need to give strangers their money. Guys, that's a lie. We teach you how to download the wallet, how to put it into your own wallet, how to control your own funds. Because when you start giving your money to others, that is actually where scams actually comes in. So then most people also think that I will need to trade all day. You won't need to trade all day. You can basically just invest into some of the projects and the private sales that we invest into and just wait it out and wait for them to do their thing or to complete their roadmap. Then others also believe that, you know what, I want to start with this, but I need to have a lot of money. Guys, you can start right where you are. We even have a method on how you can start off even if you don't have any funds. So let's share what the TRD method is about. Number 1, the T stands for team. Remember, before I explain this, every share, the Tesla share represents ownership of the company Tesla. Bitcoin represents ownership of the infrastructure Bitcoin is actually presenting. So every token or every NFT represents ownership. Guys, the bird NFT that I showed you, even though it's up 20x, it is because they are building infrastructure. I believe that each person that is actually part of NMS should actually own at least one. I own hundreds of it because they are building the infrastructure. And as long as you are holding it, they're actually, you are earning some DERP tokens. So you're basically earning revenue. And this team, they are transparent, they are trustworthy, and they have a track record. Likewise with every good company, likewise with Tesla, there's a good team behind it. What does the R stand for? Then this specific project that you are, for instance, interested in, then they need to have the resources, the skill. They need to have money to deliver the product, to build it out, or to complete the roadmap. They also need to build something that will be in demand, not only now, but going forward. So therefore, you don't see basically like Tesla standing with hundreds of thousands of cars standing in their or at the factories. In fact, when you order Tesla, you wait between 3 months to sometimes over 2 years. And it is how high they are because they can't keep up with the demand. Now, all of the big players implement the TRD method, and even in the crypto industry. Now, I was able to obviously get into that ecosystem where I showed you guys where I actually got access to private sales that the public does not know about. And guys, if you are buying tokens, on an exchange, put the 12 in the comments. Let's see who here are buying tokens. Yeah, especially when they launch. like R stands for resources. Okay, so we are accumulating these tokens so they can actually they in order for them to obviously give us a bigger return. Now, let us share something with you guys quickly. Because I'm part of this ecosystem, before tokens come to the public, they come to us. Think of Shark Tank. They come and they ask for money, or they ask for resources, marketing, or developers, just people with a skill, and they want to build their business. So what happens is that entrepreneurs comes to us and we say yes if it ticks off the TRD method. And then what we do is we say, you know what, but we want to buy into your company. So let's say they have a token. We buy into the private sale. So we buy it at 0.003 cents. So then remember the 106 of us in this specific group. So we also have thousands of people who obviously follow us, or we have programs, and others, for instance, leaders in different industries, but it's throughout the world. There are celebrities, there are influencers, etc. So now we get more influencers to start creating awareness. So when they create awareness, we allow them to buy in at 0.005 cents into this company. Remember, we in the private sale, we bought in for 0.003. So then it will launch on, let's say, on PancakeSwap or on Uniswap or on MintSwap. That's a decentralized exchange. Most people don't know what a DEX is. A DEX stands for decentralized exchange. So only a small amount of people know what a DEX is, and then they go and buy. But that is the public. When the public buys, they can get this token. Let's say they buy it for 0.03. If they buy it for 0.03, what does that mean? We will invest into the private sale. On the pre-sale, we are up 10x. So we have times 10 our money. So now, but this company needs time for them to actually prove themselves in the market, and they need to meet certain milestones. And now, as they are meeting more and more milestones, the coin goes up in value and more people are buying in. So Binance or Luna or Altcoin Trader, these guys don't just list a token that is new. The token or the company first needs to prove themselves. And so when the company has proven themselves, then they will list it on there. So then people are excited to be buying it for the first day when it launches on an exchange, because most people buy their coins on exchanges, not only to find out that they are 2 years late. Because we who get into private sales, we got into them early. That is how Oluhle was able to make 100K for every month, since she obviously got started when I recorded that testimonial. First month, second month, and then obviously the more private sales we have, the then you can just obviously take profit here, and then we get into the next. Currently, we have 2 of the biggest projects that will still be launching in 2023. One of the biggest ones was Poof, and we all saw more than 20x profit in there. So obviously there are still 2 that is going to launch now. It's quite big. Then we also have 3 others. So they also have 10x potential, but the 2 that is about to launch, I don't think you want to miss those. NMS is invested into it. Many of, in fact, most of the members at NMS also are invested into it, but the public doesn't have access to it. It's only when you are well, or when you are in that group. So who here wants to get access to private sales and pre-sales? Put a 13 in the comments if you want to get access to those. So we have support there who just shared their WhatsApp number. So it's the Lynn, she's part of our team. So people are putting 13, 13, 13, 13. Okay, so obviously not everyone has 500,000 rand to put down and get into this group so they can get access to private sales and pre-sales. But what I do is, because I'm there, I give people access that obviously are part of NMS. So when you become part of NMS, then you can actually get access to this. Now, obviously, with the information that I've just shared with you, you are able to now say, you know what, Lucian, thank you so much for the information. I will now go and do this on my own. And guys, I'll be perfectly happy. But if you decide, you know what, I want you to hold my hand through this. I want to get into your WhatsApp group where you share these projects before they get to the public. I want to be in the WhatsApp group where you share, obviously, when you buy, when you sell. So if you are that person, put the 14 in the comments. Put the 14 in the comments if you would actually want us to hold your hand, where you have a membership website where you learn exactly. I know many of you know how to buy tokens, but some people don't even know how to do that. So we will show you how to convert your rands to crypto, how to choose the right cryptos, and actually give you access to private sales and pre-sales. Okay, so obviously people are excited. I see that the 14s are flowing in. So let me quickly share my screen as we will be concluding now. So how do we hold your hand? So guys, I thank my team for actually allowing me to write this book. And at the end of the day, I had to lock myself up and write the book and explain to you guys exactly how you can do this on your own. And many of you already have access to my book. Obviously, the free copy you can find at nftmillionairesecret.com/free. That is only the first 3 chapters. And obviously, if you want the full book and all of the bonuses that goes with it, then you can get the full book at nftmillionairesecret.com/full book, and you'll be able to get the audio book, the ebook, as well as more training, and you will also stand a chance to win an iPad. So obviously someone is winning an iPad here tonight. So yeah, this also puts you in a position to be able to win an iPad. So then we also allow you to promote the business, and you can earn up to 30% commissions, those that you can get for $299 and $15. So I know that you can see 255 there, but at the end of the day, the rand is constantly losing value. So it's $15. So $15 is basically 300 rand. So once again, what are the benefits? Free bonus training. You stand a chance to win an iPad. You can also earn 30% commissions, and you obviously also get the books. So when you want to get the full book, go to nftmillionairesecret.com/full book, or go back to the person who invited you here and ask them how can you actually buy the full book. They will show you. But you can also go to the website, put in your email address. Obviously, click on the blue tab there to buy it. Put in your email address, put in your name, your email address, your cell phone number. Remember, there's a +44. I need you to change that to South Africa, or +27, +27, and then put in your cell phone number and put in your sponsor's name and surname, the person who invited you. That is actually your sponsor. So put in their name and surname, and then you'll be able to get the book. Now, when having the book and you are now educated and you want to actually become part of NMS, what you can do is you can actually get yourself the V1 package that will give you the following benefits. Number one, we will obviously get access to a step-by-step website where you have tutorials. So it will show you exactly how to download your wallet, how to convert your currency, how to keep it safe, how to identify good projects that are actually building infrastructure to a growing industry. So you'll get all of that, but you'll also get access to the private sales. And besides that, you will also get 4,000 rands worth of NMS tokens. So 4,000 rands worth of NMS tokens, that is what you will get when you get yourself V1. So you'll get into a group where we share exactly what we are buying, and the NMS token from where it is now it has the potential to do more than 10x. But let's say it only does 10x. Your 4,000 Rand goes to 40,000 Rand. So what do you value V1 at? If you are here for the first time, what do you think? What is a good price for V1? Shahi, Lynn will send you a direct message and you will obviously be able to get the book there. So someone said 10,000 Rand. And that is exactly how much you will actually need in order to get into V1. For 10K, you will get all of those benefits. You will get the step-by-step training. You will get access to private sales and pre-sales. So remember, but you'll also get 4,000 Rands worth of NMS tokens. So even if you don't do anything, and when NMS tokens 10x's, you still have 4 times the money that you got started with, but then you also have the education, but then you also have access to different private sales. So you get an annual membership for V1. And how can you get into V1? nftmillionairesecret.com/V1. Now, guys, you will be able to get in a 10K at this point of time, or $5,000. And we kept it affordable for almost, I think it's almost 6 months. But by the click of a button, we will obviously take it to its original price that we wanted to actually have it at, which is $599, which is 12,000 Rand. But at this point of time, you can still get it at 10,000 Rand or $500. So before the price obviously goes towards 12,000, where we obviously are pricing it at this point of time. But remember, you also get 4,000 Rands worth of NMS tokens, which still has a potential to grow more than 12K. So even if you come back at the later stage and you pay 12K, it's still worth it. So now, as a V1 member, you will be able to invest up to 50,000 Rand into different private sales. Up to 50,000 Rand. Now, I know that some of you have more than 50,000 Rand. And I will share with you what you can do in order, if you actually have more than 50,000 Rand. But at this point of time, I see that there are 2 people that have their hands up. So in order to not keep them waiting, let me just allow people to unmute themselves. Are there any questions that you have? Any questions? Any questions? You guys can unmute yourself now. I see that Johan Prince and Lolly and Trele, you put up your hands so you can ask your questions now. Johan, you are unmuted. You can go for it. Okay.
Hi, Lucian.
Yes, sir. How's it?
Good, thanks yourself.
Awesome stuff. All good. Thank you.
I just want to check. Okay, on your returns, are they taxable?
Sorry?
The returns, our government, is it taxable?
Okay. So obviously all income, depending on which country you live in, it is obviously taxable. But that is obviously when you send it to your South African bank account. Then they can obviously see whose it is and in which wallet it is, etc. But whilst it's still in your wallet, it's still anonymous as per se. But yeah, but at the same time, I'm not a basically you need to
a tax practitioner.
Yeah, a tax practitioner here. You need to consult a tax practitioner on that, because obviously the laws work differently to depending on which country you're in. Also, is it business? Is it your own funds, etc. But yeah. But one of my mentors once said that, you know what? Let's say you make $1 million and the tax is 20%. if you don't want to lose 200K, just make sure that you make 1.5 million, and then you give them the 20%, then it's still more than obviously what you yeah. So we will
Okay.
they have 10,000 ways on to text us. So instead of focusing on to get around it, yeah, just make more money. Yeah,
All right. Thank you.
awesome stuff. Anyone want to ask a question before we do the bonus and give away the iPad and the NMS tokens?
Yes, I've got a question.
Go for it, Mr. Young.
Can anyone create a NFT token?
Yes, anyone can create an NFT. Obviously, I'm helping people create the NFT, the token, etc. But if there isn't a legitimate business model behind it, then I don't think it's a good idea to create it, because people are going to lose their money investing into that. I'm not saying you, I'm obviously like answering this for the crowd and for everyone that's going to watch the recording. You see, the reason why there's a negative stigma to cryptocurrencies is because people come to our industry and they get money quickly. They just make a nice website and say, I'm going to give you this, and then people invest into it, and then they have a nice NFT, it looks nice, but there's no profit-making business behind it. So it's like going to the bank with a business idea. If someone comes to me with a great business idea, or they come to our group, us as well as 106, if they have a great business idea, we will create them a token, we'll create them an NFT, depending on anything that they want. They will be able to get the money, but it needs to be a solid business that has the TRD method ticked off. Once we have that, then yeah, but anyone can create it, to answer you in short. Thank you so much, Tabiso. I see that Tabiso says, thank you so much. Very informative. Looking forward to start. So, guys, you are able to invest up to 50,000 Rand in different private sales and pre-sales. But I know that some people are sitting with more than 50K and they don't want to be limited by only 50K. But guys, do not go for the next if you don't have more than 50K. If you have less than 50K, just grow your portfolio first from where you are finding yourself up until more. Then you want to look at what I'm going to share with you now. Now, we also have a package V2. Remember, I explained to you V1, currently you can still get it for 10,000 Rand, but V2, you get everything in V1, but you also get the derivatives trading coaching. So we go on coaching calls more often, and we basically did 2 already, 2 this week for the V2 members, and we're doing another one tomorrow night for the V2 members. So V2 members obviously get to interact with myself, and we do a whole lot of more coaching. But obviously, if you cannot afford V2, get started with V1, grow your portfolio, and as you grow your portfolio, you can obviously expand. And if you upgrade within less than 30 days, you just pay the difference. But for V2, you get access. So you will not be limited by only 50,000 Rand into these private sales. You'll be able to put in as much as you please, even up to 300,000 Rand. So into a single one, and you can get into many, you can basically get into multiple. But for V2, you won't only get 4,000 Rands worth of NMS tokens, you will get 8,000 Rands worth of NMS tokens. 8,000 Rands worth of NMS tokens, and that has the potential to obviously more than 10x. So when it 10x's, you have 80,000 Rand. Now, guys, what I didn't share is that in V1, in V2, you also stand a chance to win an iPad. And what I did was to, whenever we get to 15 people who bought V1 or V2, we take a draw like we're going to do tonight, and one of those people will win iPads. But all V1 and V2 members, I said, you know what? It's winter and people are getting cold, so I'm giving away 100 of these. So we gave away close to 90. How many, Shani? Close to 90. There are still 10 left. So the 10 next people that buy a V1 or V2, they are getting one of these branded body warmers. So yeah, it's still basically not to be missed. So V1, how much do you pay for it? You can actually get it for 30,000 at this point of time. So sorry, it is V2 at 30,000 rand, which is basically 1,500 US dollars. So the same will basically work there. Now, I know that some people want to get started, but they don't have even enough for V1. Guys, for a limited time, we still have the beginners course open, but obviously it has different benefits. So you get your membership website. You also get to go on a call with myself every second month, and then you also have access to a WhatsApp group, and then you also get access to some private sales, but you can only invest up to 10,000 rand. You can't invest more than that into them, because obviously if you have money to invest into them, then you might as well just get into V1 or V2. So friends, at this point of time, you can get the beginners course at 3,500 rand, and you can go to nftmillionaireseeker.com/beginners. Now is the time to do some giveaways. Now I'm going to first give away first give away 1,000 NMS tokens. Now, before I do the giveaways, guys, there are many scams out there. And most of them you can identify by them telling you, you know what, give so much and you will make so much in this amount of time. There's no business out there that can tell you in which time frame or how many sales they will do tomorrow, or how many sales they will do 3 days from now. So when you see those with the tablets that say, you know what, if you invest so much, you will get so much in so many weeks or so many days, you need to hunt from them. We share what the potential is of the project, but no one can tell you know what, in so much time it will do that amount of growth. So it's important. Someone says, Mr. Simon, no, definitely, Enver. So it's important that I believe that now that you have been educated and understand, you know what, every project actually have a business behind it, and no business can say, you know what, I'm going to make so much sales tomorrow. But if it's a good profit-making business, it's only a matter of time. So yes, you've seen the testimonials of some of our people making that in the first or second month, but I also shared when I spoke about mindset, you need to be patient. And generally, when we invest into a private sale or pay sale, we would tell you before you invest, this project is going to launch at that time. Are you willing to invest it now and wait for 2 weeks or 2 months or etc.? So yeah, so let me do the giveaways. First, I'm going to give away the 1,000 NMS tokens. If you guys are ready, I need you to put a 15 in the comments. Wow, we were very interactive tonight. 15 are in the comments. So I'm going to ask a question, and the first person to answer this is going to get 1,000 NMS tokens. You guys are ready? So I told you guys that, you know what, if you come to this call, I'm going to share a secret. Even if you forget everything, you must just, this one thing. What is that one thing that I said that we look for? Sharik Kok. Wow, you guys are amazing. The way you guys have been listening. Guys, you know what? I don't just give away NMS tokens. I make sure that I take my money out of my pocket and I go and buy it. So not even I'm getting NMS tokens for free. And yeah, so I'm gonna go and buy. Wow, let me go and buy 2,000 NMS tokens and give the first 2 people. So Sharik Kok, support, I just need you to put your contact details there again. So Terry Lynn will do it now. So the number is 072 830 90 89. So Sherry Cock and Vusi, I need you guys to contact support now. And then they will actually get you those tokens. Guys, please don't act as if you are Vusi now or Sherry. Yeah, so let's celebrate them. So let's put some fire in the chat and congratulate them for actually winning the NMS token. So now we're gonna give away the iPad. So I need to see a lot of fires in order for me to give away this iPad here tonight. So close, congratulations. Awesome stuff, awesome stuff, awesome stuff. See a lot of fires flowing in. Awesome stuff. Okay, now remember what I said. The giving away an iPad, obviously it's a whole lot of thousands for the iPad. So I'll also share with you after I've given away the iPad, how you can get yourself an iPhone 14 Pro Max. So iPhone 14 Pro, actually. So I will share with you how you can get it, and the phone is actually over 25,000 rand. So I will share how you guys can actually qualify for that. But for now, I'm gonna give away the iPad, brand spanking new, and like I said, this is for the action takers. So those of you who said, you know what, I want to be my hand to be held through this. So those of you who are getting V1 or V2, your name obviously goes on the list, and then we do the draw. So if you are listening here and you are planning to get V1 or V2, put a 16 in the comments so we can actually see and make a note of that. So put the 16 in the comment. Okay. Awesome stuff. So looks like we are giving I always prepare. So I've got 2 iPads here. So yeah, at the end of the day, Len, you can obviously get in touch or help these guys through that. So before we give away this iPad, let me first quickly just share the website. So where you can get V1 is at the following website, NFT millionairecard.com/V1. And obviously, for V2, it's the same website /V2. So you guys can go and get V1 or V2 there. So remember when 15 people have bought, then what we do is we go and obviously do the draw. So let me show you how transparent we are. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So there's a website called Wheel of Names. Now, guys, I like to do this draw here live. You can see the last one I did. These names are still here, and someone won. I can't remember the last person who won, but yeah, Kirsten, yeah, Kirsten. So if you go in the recording, you will see Kirsten actually won. So I'm going to take away these names, and if you go to our website, these stuff are right in front of my face here. So let me put them at the bottom. Okay. If you go to our website, nftmillionaireseekers.com/course entries, then you will see everyone who bought V1 or V2, their names goes on the list. So I'm going to take these names. I'm going to take 15 names and we're going to draw. So one of these 15 people is going to win this here tonight. If the person is not here, they will not be able to claim this. Yeah. So let's get started. So obviously Lydia and Gavin Graaf and those who are buying now. So Lydia will be number 1. Gavin will be number 2. So once that list gets to 15, and then next week when we obviously do the call, then we will do a draw again. We will most probably even do it this week, depending on how soon we get to 15 again. So let me put these names Remember, if you go on the payment plan, then your name obviously only gets in there once you've made the full payment. So there are the 15 names. Guys, super excited to be hitting this button, spin. So if you want me to hit the button spin so we can see who the winner is tonight, put in the chat spin or put the 17. Put the 17 or put the word spin. Let's see if you guys are ready. You guys are ready. You guys are ready. You guys are ready. Let's go. Spin. Let's see who the lucky winner is tonight. Wow. Guys, we have ourselves a winner. Let's congratulate. Let me see the name. Ntobeli Ndlovu. Ntobeli Ndlovu, are you here on the call? Are you here on the call? Let's see if Ntobeli is here. Okay, Ntobeli is not here, unfortunately. But yeah, so obviously, like I said, we will be doing more draws. So we'll be doing another draw on tonight and to not tonight, on our next call next Tuesday. So yeah, let me quickly close. Now, guys, let's go back. Let me actually proceed. Stop share. Share screen. So obviously, when the person is not on the call, so then they don't qualify to claim it immediately, but we do have like a penalty if they actually do that, and then they will be able to get it. But we have more iPads. In fact, I have one already here. Did someone talk now? Okay. Okay, guys. Someone asked me, Lucian, but what if I don't have any money to get started? Remember, if you get started and you have a small amount of money, it takes you longer to get to your goal. Now, this is not necessarily for people who don't have any money. This is for a person that wants to build a business. So it's not compulsory, but we do have ranks and we do have a way on how you can earn over 15,000 on a monthly basis. Some people are earning way over 15, but I just want to keep it average, because when I got started in this industry in 2016, my friends came to me and said, you know what, Lucian, they are now my friends. Back then, they just heard of me. They heard that I'm #1 salesperson in a certain company. And they said, Lucian, let me show you how to make 100K. Guys, I didn't take them serious because I didn't feel worthy of 100K. But when they came back to me and they told me that they will show me how to make 10K, then I took them serious. And obviously, I did what they told me. And I started making 10K, started making 20K, 30K. And yeah, the rest is history. But I also built this business so you can actually, there are good salespeople and there are people who hate sales or who can't do sales. And it's most probably because they don't know how to do it right. If you do it wrong, you will get a lot of rejection. But if you do it right, you will get people praising you for actually giving them such a fantastic opportunity. So the only thing that you need to do is to give away my free book. And I can promise you 99% of you people actually got to this call here tonight because you got the free book, and that will lead to you obviously coming here, etc. So how can you actually qualify to make over 10K on a monthly basis or over 15K? So if you give away enough of our free books, you will have people buying into our program. If they buy V1, they will get 1,500 Rand for each person. So when 10 people actually bought V1, what happens? You've earned yourself 15,000 Rand. Now, you must remember that when a person buys V1, this is actually what is happening. So let me, new share, my whiteboard. Let me quickly break it down. So remember, the person for now, they're paying 10K. So they are already getting 4K back. So we are left with 6K. Okay. So then with the 6K, you are still getting a jacket and you are still standing a chance to win an iPad. So say the jacket and that is 2K. So which means we have 4K left. And then we also pay the person who introduced them or the sponsor, we pay them between 1,500 and 1,800. So there's basically left, there's like 2,000 rand left. And then for that, you get coaching and you get access to private sales for a full year. Now, when you look at it that way, who's the person who's actually winning? So there isn't even 2,000 rands worth of profit here because we need to pay our team. We need to obviously have a website up. We need to do all of those things. And at the end of the day, what you are getting for V1 or V2, I believe the only way how you can actually say, you know what, I'm not buying tonight is when you don't have the money. But in my opinion, in fact, you guys can actually share with me. Put in 18 if you think it is a fair deal. See the chats are flowing in. So yeah, I see that you guys see the value. So when a person gets V1, you get paid a commission. Remember, this is not compulsory. You can just get into the business and not promote. So, but if you give away enough of our books, and we have a message that you give that you should send people, and that gets them to download the book, nothing more. So when 10 people have bought, you will earn 15,000 rand, but we'll also give you an iPhone if you do it before the 13th of October. But let's say you take longer than the 13th of October, we will give you an iPad. But if you do it before the 13th of October, from now to then we'll give you an iPhone worth over 25,000 rand. But let's say now you see how it works and you give away more books. So when giving away more books, eventually, guys, we've done the studies. Just by giving away enough of the books, it gets people to actually purchase our products. So then you will be able to get to rank 2. Rank 2 is when 25 people bought V1, you earn yourself 45,000 rand, and you also get a holiday at one of the resorts that we'll be sending you to. Guys, I just went to Cape Town on an amazing holiday, and I believe that each of you deserve to be there. And we will actually send you guys there. So besides that, you have earned yourself 45,000 rand, and not only you and your partner. So you'll be able to actually go there for 2 or 3 a night stay. So, and let's say you now go ahead and you give away more books and you get to rank 3 and you get to have 100 people that actually bought in on V1 or V2, then you've earned yourself 180,000 rand. And then you also qualify for the international trip where we are going to Thailand for 7 days. So remember, you made 180K, that is yours to keep. But we also, you are, as a bonus, you are, for you and the +1, you and your partner, trip to Thailand for 7 days. Flights are paid, accommodation is paid, breakfast is paid. All you will pay is for your lunch and for your supper and excursion that you go on. Now, guys, remember that South African rand is stronger than the Thai currency, their baht. So at the end of the day, you will be able to afford that because you've made yourself 180,000 rand. Now, let's say you give away more books. By then, you can then get to rank 4, which earns you 980,000 rand in cash, which is in your pocket, but you still get a bonus of either the Land Rover Defender or a house or the money to the value of 2 million. Now, guys, in my opinion, there's no one that is currently on this call that shouldn't actually get to millionaire status within the next 2 years. I'm now like thinking of the person that is actually going to take action, but take action very slow. But if you are going to implement what we teach you, then it's very possible for you to actually achieve the status even quicker. And like I say, it's that the referral program is not only for the people that don't have money. In fact, the people have to have the most money are the guys who are actually open to this. But guys, how many people? Rank 4 is 500 people. So you only need 70% to be your direct referrals. The other 30% can be your teams. Now, guys, it's gonna become even more easier because we are launching a mobile app, and yeah, we already have access to the mobile app. So you will only the only thing that you'll have to do, like now you give away the free book. The only thing you'll have to do is say download this mobile app and you can get yourself some free NMS tokens. And yeah, that's how easy it is. Remember, I've been in this industry for 7 years. Guys, I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm great at selling. But I've built the system so a person that can't sell can also build this business to rank 4. Because I mean, who can't give away free books? And we type the message out for you. You just have to send it to your people. Guys, you've been amazing. Are there any questions that you would like to ask at this point of time? Any questions? If there aren't any questions, I'm going to say goodbye. Support is going to just put their contact details there for the last time. So thanks so much for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in our members group. So we can actually work together and get to the next level. Guys, remember, currently we are at this stage where the capital market is right at the bottom. So it's important that you take position now. If you take it now, within the next 2 years, you want to be part of those in the articles because the bull run is approaching, and I'm looking forward to having you on there. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you in our members group.